Welcome back, YouTube. This is another bunker video. Unfortunately, it is not the one that was planned. So I had plans set out after this car finished breaking that we were going to do like reactions and stuff like that. You know, I've got a 9-inch build and transmission build lined up and everything like that. Well, motor had another idea in hand. I've had a rod bearing failure. So I diagnosed it by the sparkle in the oil, which I will show a video now of what that looked like. Basically, the car was cruising and it developed a knock. It really was doing nothing but cruising and it just started knocking. So I think it was a failure imminent to happen. It was prone to happen. It was going to happen. I really couldn't tell you why it failed. I have no idea. It realistically no reason for it to have failed. Oil pressure didn't drop or anything like that. It was a freak accident. Doesn't hurt my doesn't break my heart or anything like that. I've got rods, bearings, and really I just have to order gaskets and we'll be back on the street. So yeah, this is going to be a rushed process because I have a deadline to get this car ready to go to the beach, Hot Rod Custom Festival, and I've got to meet that deadline. So bear with me. You're going to see this motor come out tonight. Boom, it's out the car. So just like that, nothing to it. I think I got it out in like 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 15 minutes, which isn't that bad. So don't mind the 302 in the back. Next project. But it's out, and now I'm going to tear this thing apart. Problem found. Look at all those. That one's clean. And it's got 2 little marks right there, which are some serious bummers. That sucks. And all these are nice and clean. Well, I say clean, they're dirty. So, it doesn't look like it was really bad. Like it just knocked off carbon. And it just, valves barely touched it. Might get lucky, I don't know. Alright, as you can see, they come apart faster than they go together. We found the problem. Number 2 is good. Number 1. No bueno. So let's take that off. Oh, buddy. The bearing is gone. Oh, wait, no. Bearing is on the crank. That is your typical case of a spun bearing. Yeah, look at that. They overlap. Melted them together. No oil pressure. Look at that. Yeah. Piston looks good. Looks the same as when I put it in. Well, frick. I don't even know if I can. There it is. Yeah, that's the glitter in the oil. Dang. Oof, crankshaft's ate down pretty good too. A good burn on the pistons. 580 miles, I mean, it's a pretty good way to tell how the piston's burnt. A little bit of carbon peel in there, but not bad at all. A little rich, but you know. So this is number 1. That piston and its new rod are currently at the machine shop. The rod is getting checked for trueness because I'm using ARP bolts on the rods, and these are all the caps for these pistons because the crankshaft is missing. So new crankshaft is also at the machine shop getting balanced, getting cleaned, and getting polished. And I've got the camshaft out. It's a little, like, you could see, but you can't feel anything. None of them and all the lifters, they have little wear marks from the bores, but I can't feel anything. Nothing, can't feel anything. So, rocker arms. The other head is the one that touched the piston. I'm making sure that it's good to go, so I brought that to the machine shop as well. So yeah, check it out. Motor's out. It's a little messy, but it'll be going back together no time. All the parts will be here on Monday. It is currently Thursday, and the machine shop will be through with the parts sometime next week. So I'm pretty excited about that. Step of the Bunger build is freaking awesome. You see the car right here, and I've got a really cool part that I'm working on. I have got a 9-inch Ford here. It came out of a truck, and those are axles that came out of it. They're 28 spline. There's a third member that came out of it, and from flange to flange it's about 64 inches. So with a 5.5-inch back spacing wheel, it will be perfect fitment, like literally spot on. So here's all the brackets I cut off. Got it cleaned up enough to start. I need to finish cleaning it once I get the new brackets on, and I'm gonna Cerakote the whole axle. These 28 spline axles are gonna get the job done for now. This has a locker. This is the third member I'll be using. I gotta clean it up, but this has a locker and a 411 gear ratio, which is absolutely perfect. I need to swap this guy out for a 1350 yoke, but yeah, once I get the axles, once I get the brackets welded onto the axle, I'm gonna paint it up, and then I can slap new bearings on those axles and slap them in with that third member, and it will be locked with a much better gear ratio. So the 327 gear ratio in the car right now is just awful because the motor doesn't like to cruise at like 1700. It wants to be around 2000. It starts it literally cams at 1700. It's ridiculous. So that's the plan for the rear axle. I've got brackets coming. I've got wheels coming. I've got new wheels. Still SSRs, but they're gonna be pretty cool looking, I think, on the car. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now I've got to yank the factory rear out and get. I only need one bracket. I only need this bracket for the panhard bar. So I'm gonna carefully dissect that and take measurements and get that thing on there. So I'm super stoked about the progress we're making. And another cool part, I have got a set of used but double adjustable QA1 coilovers for it. I don't need this bracket, but this is the bracket that will go into the car. So it literally just replaces the shock absorber, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. That'll help suspension hooking up a lot. Plus, that means that I don't need this guy anymore, because they cut these factory rear springs and they're no good. So very excited to get rid of that. And the perfect width for the rear will make it so that it doesn't rub anymore, because it rubbed pretty bad. And I was running a 1/4 of an inch spacer on it. So, right, quarter, yeah. So I'm glad that we're getting this thing situated. So yeah, very excited about that. I also have the bar to go in here. Well, it's actually a relocation bar. It'll drop this down. So we'll be making use of that, because I would love to get this braced once again. No bar going across is not a good look. So we'll be using the factory rear sway bar for now. We're going to be using factory control arms and factory panhard bar. Also the factory, you can't see it. And also the factory torque arm. I'm not really worried about getting control arms in the car at the moment. I am worried about getting the motor back together and in the car, and the 9-inch in the car, because overall it's just going to drive better with the 411 gear ratio, and also it's going to be locked, so you know, if you do a burnout, it's 2 wheels instead of 1. Kind of nice. I'm getting sick of me saying this, but we've made more progress. Check it out. There's coilovers hanging in there, which is pretty cool. Factory control arms. I've got the Torque arm's still in there, but the axle is gone. I say it's gone. It's right there. So, I need this one bracket right here. I need this bracket right here. I measured my center point to center point here, so I know exactly where to put this bracket on my next axle. And that would be this axle right here. So I've got a center point right here, and over here, if I can find it, there it is, right there. That's the center point of the bolt for the panhard bar. So that's gonna be super easy. And then I've got lower control arm brackets on the way. I've got a torque arm bracket on the way, and sway bar mounts on the way. So I also have a 1350 yoke coming for the third member here, and new bearings, disc brake swap. We're making big freaking progress. The other thing I have coming is a 1350, one of these guys. This one is absolutely cooked. It's in really bad condition, and it's in worse condition than I actually thought it was. Holy crap. Well, I've got a 1350 yoke coming for the 4L60, and the drive shaft is going to be 3" that I'm having cut for this rear axle. So as soon as I get the axle bolted in, I'm going to take my measurement from that yoke to the yoke that will be in the transmission, and I'll have my measurement for the drive shaft. You can see the coilovers just bolt in. Super easy, super simple. I don't know if it's going to have a working parking brake. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not really worried about the parking brake right now. I can get custom cables or make cables or whatever. Not a big deal. I'm going to worry about that later.